It's summertime here at Roanoke County Parks, Recreation and Tourism. This is Recreation Television, and over the next half hour we're going to show you how to move, splash, learn, and explore your world through recreation programs and exciting opportunities like right here at Splash Valley Water Park. Coming up, we'll tell you about new things at Explore Park. We're working on a master plan. We have Artisan Saturdays where you get to interact with craftspeople. We'll even show you on this program how to do a few crafts yourself. We'll talk about fencing, NFL flag football, and a whole lot more coming up on Recreation Television. I'm joined here at Explore Park by Parks Recreation and Tourism Director Doug Blunt. And Doug, for the past year, we're about to reach the conclusion of a very big project here at Explore. Can you talk about the master plan?
Since last summer, we have been working to develop the master plan for Explore Park, and this has been a very exciting project. It's been able to allow our citizens to really define what they want to see at Explore Park, help to put some structure around what the Explore Park could look like, what they want to have from recreational amenities, but also what they would like to see from a programmatic standpoint.
And you can get a preview of that right now online. We have a map that's available at explorepark.org/masterplan that shows you pretty much a 20-year plan, right?
It is. It gives you a snapshot of a trail map, let's use as our term, that really shows you what our future is for Explore Park and what our path is to get to the end of the full development of the master plan at Explore Park. And it kind of gives you an idea of how the park could look with different type of recreational amenities and what a 20-year build out could be.
And the exciting part is you can check that website over and over again this summer, as we will be adding more pieces of information for the completed plan. So tell us a couple more things that they might see when those elements are put on the site.
Well, all along people have talked about that they wanted overnight accommodations, that they wanted to have more access to the river. They wanted to be able to look at having a lodge, restaurant, food and beverage, different things like that allow people to be able to come out and not just ride a bike, take a hike, get in a kayak or canoe and go down the river, but be able to spend an entire day at basically Explore Park become a destination.
So stay tuned for that, but for now there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that are focused on the next 1, 2, 3 years. Can you talk about some of those?
Well, one of the things that we're really looking at is some minor improvements to the park in the next year that would help with accessibility, looking at doing some asphalt pavement repairs, looking at opening up the restrooms that are down in the old historic area so that folks have true running water type of restrooms than just porta-johns, trying to increase that level of service. So we're looking at trying to make some minor improvements in the park that will help to improve the experience. We're going to be doing some additional trail marking signage in the park over the next year. Again, just things to help improve the overall experience. Some of the other things that we're working on that we're very excited about is the programming element here at Explore Park. We want people to be able to come out and enjoy the existing amenities of the over 14 miles of trail, access to the Roanoke River and such, but we want them to be able to do other things while they're here. So one of our projects that we're very excited about is creating our Outdoor Institute, where from a child all the way up to an active adult, you can learn about the outdoors. It doesn't matter whether you're a novice or an expert. You have the opportunity to get out and experience all these different type of outdoor activities here at Explore Park and can learn along the way.
And we've already started increasing our program development at Explore over the past couple of years. You've seen an increase in the number of summer camps, but really this Outdoor Institute concept is going to take it to an entirely new level and keep people coming back to the park.
Absolutely. We want to be able for folks to be able to experience different type of activities at the park, different times of the year, where it's different by season. Along with that, we want people to be able to learn about the authenticity of Explore Park, of the natural and cultural resources that actually happened here on the site. So one of the additional projects that we're working on is creating an electronic digital interpretive program that is using latest technology with smartphones to where people can come, they can look at all of the unique things that are specific to the park, whether it's wildlife, plant life, natural habitats, but be able to learn about it while they're here using their smartphone, and then be able to go home and learn more about it, and it changes by season, so that you just can't come to Explore Park and learn things about once a visit. You've got to do it over many visits.
It's a repeatable experience, and if you haven't been out to Explore lately, come and see what's different here this summer. Lots of crafts in the gift shop and lots of fun activities. Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Scott.
We're excited about the bright future for Explore Park as Virginia's Blue Ridge region grows as a destination for outdoor enthusiasts. Doug and his staff have worked hard to get this plan in place, and over the coming months we'll be working with the community to make that vision become a reality. Get updates on the master plan at explorepark.org/masterplan. Well, it's hot out there, and I'm sitting under the shade of the bowl slide at Splash Valley Water Park. We've got not one, but two 2.5-story water slides where you can cool off this summer. Let's learn more with a staff member that helped us plan some exciting events this year. It's hot outside, and there's no better place in the Roanoke Valley to cool off than right here at Splash Valley Water Park. I'm joined by Caitlin Hickey, and she is the pool manager this year at Splash Valley. First year in that position, but Caitlin, you've been around for a while, haven't you?
I have, yes sir, since the beginning.
Ever since we opened, Caitlin and a couple of members of her family also work here at Splash Valley and have a blast doing it. Now talk about this season first. What makes this year different? What are we doing that's neat, different, and special this year?
So we have lots of events going on this year. We have one, the Schools Out Bash, which is kind of regular, but we love to make sure we have new games, exciting games, things like that. This year we have our Thriller Thursdays. So every Thursday in July, we're going to have DJ the DJ come from 6 to 9, and then have games from 7 to 9.
And we normally close at 7, so this is added hours of fun for the same price, which is pretty good.
And then we are actually celebrating the last day of Olympics here, August 20th. We are going to have the Splash Valley Olympics from 5 to 9 as well that day.
Family games and activities, and the great part is admission to the water park is only $5 after 4 p.m.
Absolutely.
So that's all it takes, and we're open later, so it's a great time to come out and enjoy. Food trucks are also something that we're doing this year that we haven't always done in the past. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So we're getting a couple food trucks lined up for each of the events. Definitely the Thursdays in July. We have the Dojo grilled cheese truck. And then we're having Big Lick Barbecue come for sure, and we're trying to get the other ones lined up too.
Sounds like a lot of fun, games, activities, food. Now, you as a pool manager here, you do a lot behind the scenes that you don't always get to see. A lot of people don't know how many guards it takes to operate this facility. How many is that?
Daily, it takes about 21 lifeguards to operate the facility. That includes the 3 head guards that we have, the 2 outside and the 1 inside. And then overall for the summer, we try to have about 100 guards total.
Wow, that's a lot of employees. And so who are these guards? These are local high school, college students mostly?
Lots of high school students that actually, they go off to college and come back for the summer. So we kind of have a growing family. And then, like I said, lots of high school students. This is their first job, and they're learning the ways of the working world.
And another thing about Splash Valley that's unique, not only we have the biggest water slides in the area, but we also have the most unique lifeguard system and one of the most safe. Can you talk about that really quickly?
Yes, sir. So we are an Ellis & Associates facility, which holds us to a higher standard. We have to do monthly in-services to make sure we're all on the same page in terms of training. We are audited about 4 times a year by a third party, so they come in and make sure that we're following Ellis standards and things like that.
And the best part, but just a couple months ago, we received a Silver International Award for our high safety standards. It's a safe place, it's a fun place, and lots of special events this year right here at Splash Valley. We hope to see you out here at Splash Valley Water Park, where you may catch our lifeguards up on a stand, hopefully not throwing you one of these, but we know you'll get to splash into the fun and cool off this year. Also at the water park, check out the concession stand where we've added some new flavor shots you can put in your soft drinks. Well, even if you don't want to get wet at Splash Valley, we encourage you to get outside at a Roanoke County Park like Explore Park, where this summer we've added dozens of programs with our new staff naturalists. Well, we're here on one of the 14 miles of trails at Explore Park, and I'm joined by our doubled staff of naturalists this season, Emily and Elizabeth. Now, not only have we doubled our naturalists on staff here at Roanoke County Parks, we've also tripled the number of programs that we have focusing on outdoor education, the great outdoors. Let's start first by talking about some children's programmings and specifically our camp programs. So I believe, Emily, you're helping to run some of those programs this summer?
Yes, we have 8 weeks of camps scheduled. 2 of those weeks are dedicated to rising 2nd through rising 5th graders with an emphasis on how to be outside, leave no trace principles, what's there, what's cool. The other 6 weeks are day programs for rising 6th through 8th graders. and they're more focused on adventure activities. So we're paddling with Roanoke Mountain Adventures, mountain biking, trail running.
Outdoor archery?
Outdoor archery, with the addition of quiet leisure and leave no trace as well.
And great thing about these camps, they all include satellite transportation from Tanglewood Mall. So this is really only the second or third year we've been running the programs at Explore, and we've really expanded the lineup to very specific outdoor niche programs, right?
Yes.
Yes, we have. Well, we're also doing some programs that are open to the general public. So if you stop by on a given Saturday during the summer, Elizabeth, we're running some children's park programs throughout the county.
Yes, I have 4 programs lined up this summer at 4 different parks, including Green Hill, Garce Mill, Countryside, and Whispering Pines. We're going to do those in the morning. I schedule them so families can stay afterwards and enjoy some picnic lunch or playing on the playgrounds. We're going to do some nature exploring with some scavenger hunts and nature hikes. We're also going to be doing some craft projects and some environmental education along the way.
Now, you're both scientists by training, by trade, and you've come into this naturalist sort of thing. How do you make it engaging for kids?
I have a 6-year-old, so I've been enjoying kind of learning what he likes to do along the way, but a lot of this is very hands-on and kind of talking about it, how it relates to them and how they see the world, and kind of going from little to big and big to little.
Well, let's move on really quickly to the adults. And what are a few things that you might expect if you come out to Explore Park or any of our parks for a recreation program dealing with adult education?
Depending upon the day, and the focus of the program specifically, we try and emphasize what wildlife is present during a given season, because there's so many seasonal changes. And
one of those very
cultural and
popular
natural history.
programs,
Go ahead.
12 Months, 12 Hikes.
Yes.
You've been leading this season. Talk about that one specifically, because it meets on one Saturday a month. And what do you do on that program?
with that program, we follow the same trail each Saturday. And that gives us the opportunity to look for ephemeral plants, ephemeral insects. So that means they're short-lived, they're visible during a short window. And occasionally we luck out and catch a migratory bird. Well, they're all migratory.
And you can see the birds, the wildlife, and learn a heck of a lot this summer if you sign up for one of those courses with Emily or Elizabeth. Learn more at RoanokeCountyParks.com. The outdoor education staff at Camp Roanoke and Explore Park know how to keep the kids engaged throughout the whole summer. And as you've seen, they know how to teach the adults a thing or two as well. But what about families together? We're excited about a new artistic opportunity at the Brambleton Center, where the whole family can paint together. Check out our new painting series. I'm joined here by Lindsay Jackson. She's owner of Miss Lindsay's Paint Party and a new instructor with us here at the Brambleton Center. We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
And you're going to be teaching 3 programs over the course of the summer, and all 3 of them involve acrylic paint, and all 3 of them involve families with children and adults. Can you talk a little bit about, first we'll talk about Paint Your Pet. That's one of those classes. What on earth is that class?
So basically what people are going to do, they're going to submit a picture of their pet, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, who knows. They're going to submit a picture of their pet to me through email. What I'll do is I will sketch that pet out on a canvas.
Before they ever come into class?
Before they come into class. So when they come in, they will have the sketched animal, just an outline of it, not detailed, just a sketched outline of it, and then I will print out a picture of their pet next to them so that they can see that as well. And I'll coach them through fur techniques, eyeballs, mouths, what have you.
Well, speaking of fur techniques, I submitted you a photo of my pet lion.
Oh, yes, I got it.
And you do you do lovely artwork, of course. You're not only an instructor, but an artist as well.
Thank you.
And would you mind showing me maybe some technique that you might use if you wanted to paint a pet like my pet lion here?
Sure. So we have our lion here, and also if children come to the Paint Your Pet, I don't want this to freak you out. I don't want this to make you think, oh, that's too difficult for me. I can't do that. Because one of the things that I love about my degree is I'm able to facilitate and give instruction on how to make something look hard easy.
And your degree is?
Theater education.
Theater, all right.
Yes, so I can teach theater, art, and music.
Excellent.
Yes. So my lion here, basically we're going to break it down to geometric shapes. So you have your circles and everything like that. So you have your big circle of a head. So you're going to have your head right here. And we would fill this head in. And then you have your little ears on the side. So we do circles on the side. And I'm just going to round this out a little bit.
And that's something you'll prepare a little bit in advance, so you really just have to trace some of that initial work.
Exactly. So you'll have the outline when you come in. And then I'll guide you through, okay, his little snout here, down here, and his little tufts down here for his little lips, right? And then his chin. And then you fill that all in, and we would do the eyeball work. But the main thing that people are really worried about is my fur. What am I going to do with my fur? How do I get my strokes to look like that? Because so many people say, oh, mine are so fat. This is not good, blah, blah, blah. They're so critical on themselves. They really need to lighten up a little bit. So what I do is you take your color, and you're going to do the mane here, and what I like to do is come out from the face, and as I'm coming out, whatever direction you're going in, you're going to flick your brush in that direction. So if I'm going to come down and to the left here, I'm going to come down and I'm going to flick out, and it gives me that point. So I'm trying to get my arm here, right? It comes down, and you're flicking out and down, and you're flicking out and down.
And the beauty of it, you're using this acrylic paint, which is really easy to work with, isn't it?
It is very easy, and it's very forgiving.
And it's great. That's why it's great for kids and adults. You see paint nights all around these days, but you don't often see them where the kids can participate, and that's what makes our courses different here at Roanoke County Parks, Recreation and Tourism. Look them up in our brochure, Recreation Magazine, and sign up for Paint Your Pet.
Paint Your Pet.
Family Paint Night.
Family Paint Night, and Kids Paint Party.
Kids Paint Party.
Yes.
Find them at RoanokeCountyParks.com. As you can see, the staff here at Splash Valley Water Park are working very hard behind the scenes to keep this park open. You don't realize how many hours actually go on behind the scenes to keep a facility like this running, and really it's our staff and our instructors that make a difference in all of the programs we offer, whether that be arts at Brambleton Center or right here at Green Ridge Recreation Center. Well, coming up next, we're going to take a look at some adult programs. How about this free yarn? A knitting class. You won't believe what I made. Well, recreation is often about experiencing something you've never experienced before, and for me, that experience is knitting. It's something that I've never done, but I've always been a little bit curious about. Here to teach 2 classes this summer is Leah Marlowe. Leah's been teaching with us for many years as a photography instructor, but she, for the past year or so, has also been doing these knitting classes. Talk about the 2 classes that you've got upcoming this season.
Okay. The first class that we have is on lace and open work, which I've got an example of that here.
And what is that exactly?
This is a washcloth or a dish towel. So it's just a simple project that you can do that allows you to practice stitches and do some lace work without committing to a large project.
Now I noticed that it changes. It goes from wide to very narrow stitching here. What is that, and what is it called, and how do you do it?
Okay. The basic of lace knitting is using a balance between decreasing stitches and increasing stitches, doing open work. So what we see here on this side is the leaning of the stitches is the decrease, and this open work here is where we do adding in the holes of the additional stitches.
So it really creates a very unique pattern, which is different from the pattern created here, where these are very tightly woven together. Is this harder or easier than that project?
I think they're probably about the same, honestly. I think that sometimes people are daunted by lace work, but honestly, it's not that much harder than knitting a sock. Knitting a sock, though, you could do some open work, but this one is kind of really tightly knitted so that it's nice and cozy.
Well, something that I wonder about in completing this project, a washcloth or a towel, it's one linear piece, but what do you do to make these pieces come together, to make the heel and the sock? How does that work?
Well, the first thing that you're going to do is when you cast on your stitches, you're going to join them in the round.
Okay. Back up, I'm a complete beginner.
Okay. Casting on is how you get your first stitches on the needle.
Okay.
So you're going to put some loops on your needle, and you're going to count out the right number of
stitches. And you'll show us how to do that. We're not alone.
Yeah. And then you're going to join it in a loop. So this is knit in actually one tube. And you knit from the cuff down to the heel. And then when we get to the heel, we're going to separate some stitches, and we're going to knit back and forth to do this heel work here. And then join it back together.
Okay, I see. It's very, very tightly woven there. So that looks really complicated to me, but it's not as hard as you say.
It's not as hard as you think it is.
And finally, you've got what looks to me to be a cheat sheet here. What is this? A pattern?
It is a pattern. This is a chart. So rather than a written pattern that would tell me knit one, purl one, this is using symbols drawn in a chart form so that I can just follow the symbols.
If I take the class, do I get a chart like this?
You'll work on making your own chart.
Oh, excellent. And this is something that I can develop to create different patterns as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, you can learn more about knitting and photography with Leah Marlowe if you sign up online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, now that I'm a knitting expert, sort of, my next step is to sell those crafts, and there's no place better than the Explore Park gift shop. This year we've doubled the size of the exhibit space there and loaded it with real works of art from local artisans. The best time to check it out is during one of our Artisan Saturday events. Let's find out more. We're here at the Blue Ridge Parkway Visitor Center at Explore Park, where the past couple of years we've shifted our focus. It's not just Parkway memorabilia anymore. We also have artisan crafts galore. So come on and check them out. Here to talk about it is Wendy Schultz, our Special Events Director, and Nancy Mundy, who's an employee here, but also a featured artisan. We'll talk about that in a second. Wendy, first, we've got several upcoming events this summer focused on crafts and artisans.
We do, and you know, it keeps expanding every season. We actually have our second Artisan Saturday of the series this summer on August 13th. We will also have another one in November, but it's going to be fabulous. We actually have 25 artisans who are selling and displaying their work in the gift shop.
So talk more about Artisan Saturday. What goes on? You have demonstrations, lectures, music. Tell me more.
And you've got it. We also have food this year. We have a winery coming out. But really, the highlight of the day is the artisans out here demonstrating and selling their crafts.
And we also have some craft days for kids this summer as well, kids and families. Can you talk about that?
Yes, we have scheduled 4 throughout the season, and they're going to coincide with other things that are going on in the park, and they're going to be totally free. And the kids can come out and enjoy and make a craft and take it home with them.
So you can look at our calendar at RoanokeCountyParks.com to find out when those dates are, but chances are many Saturdays this season you'll be able to come out here and witness one of these special events. But any day you visit, you can check out this art. You mentioned the expansion in the gift shop. It spilled out from what was a tiny corner of this building to most of the lobby area. And Nancy, you've displayed here before. Talk about what people are saying and experiencing here when it comes to artisan crafts.
Well, it's just people are amazed at all the different artisans that we have and different things that we have. We have a variety.
And you are a craftsperson yourself. To tell us about what you make.
Well, here I have my aprons for little ones, and then I'm also got baby accessories, a few of mine that I bring in here for the bibs for children.
And the best part is you're one of the local craftspeople, and that's what we like to feature here at Explore, especially for travelers on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Wendy, talk about the other things they might see here and how we do feature local artisans.
Oh yeah, it's fabulous. If you look right behind us, as a matter of fact, we have turned part of the gift shop into an art gallery. We also have fabulous, fabulous pottery from local pottery guilds. We've got right over here some masks that are just amazing. We call him the Gourd Father, made out of gourds. We've got wonderful handmade jewelry. We have candles. I mean, the list goes on. We've got some beautiful woven pieces here. And actually at our Artisan Saturdays, we'll have looms out here. People can even try to do it themselves and see how difficult it is.
So check out one of 2 more Artisan Saturday events this season and visit the gift shop anytime. We're one of the hot spots now in the Roanoke Valley for artisan crafts. The gift shop is open every day through November 6th. Check us out anytime and come back to see our constantly changing inventory. Speaking of changes, there's been a big change to our fencing program here at Green Ridge Recreation Center with a new instructor. Believe me, I've had some lessons with him, and this guy is a pro. Let's meet him. We're here at Green Ridge Recreation Center where I'm joined by Brandon Minter, and Brandon is a new fencing instructor with us, but he's not new to fencing. He actually has some great fencing experience. Brandon, tell us about your background.
Well, I started fencing in college at Liberty University with a small club of about 6 people. From there, we grew the club atmosphere. We turned it into more of a team, started the men and women's team, which now I'm the coach of. So we have men and women's team that compete in multiple conferences, including nationals with 45 schools across the nation. doing very well there. I also serve currently as a Virginia Division board member with the Virginia Division of Fencing, as well as a professional referee, and of course starting my new position here at Greenridge.
And Greenridge now offers both youth, teenage focused, and adult classes in fencing. We're very excited about that. And Greenridge, as you were telling me before, is really the spot in town to have fencing lessons, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. There was some fencing in Roanoke before, but I think it's we've almost monopolized it. Some other places have closed down and we've started it back up, so that's been very helpful, and the students are very excited to try something new, and we've got students that are already have a little bit of experience that are excited about this new program.
Now, I'm clearly a beginner, Brandon. I've never done this before in my life, so go ahead and show me what you might show someone in a class, how to get started.
Absolutely. Well, first we want to pick up our masks. Always want to be safe. That's why we have our safety equipment on. And normally we would put on our mask, but today we're just going to do a little bit of demonstration. So typically you'd get started by saluting. So you would salute your opponent, you'd salute your referee, and you salute your audience. Then you would put your mask on. For now we're going to leave it off because we're just going to look at the camera. Okay? Then you're going to want to turn this way, just like this, chest that way, bring your foot forward, about shoulder width apart, and squat down just a little bit. Then you'll bring your arm up like this, keep your arm bent, but your tip up, and bring your back arm like a scorpion tail back here.
And why do you do that?
You're going to do that to keep your shoulders level so that when you attack, you won't be off target, but you also want to keep your arm out of the way. There's no glove on it. So if I brought my arm here, I'm going to get stabbed in the hand. So I want to keep exactly natural reflex. So you keep it back here to keep it out of the way. So now that you have your on guard position, you know how to move. So you'll move forward, backward, and then you can lunge for an attack. You'll extend your arm just like this, forward. Your foot will go forward and your arm will go back at the same time, just like this. Okay, keep your chin up and recover. And then you'll stick your arm out again, just like that. Arm goes back as your foot goes forward, and you lunge. And that's the basic attack.
And you'll get more in depth. And what can you accomplish by the end of, say, a series of classes?
Well, for our beginners classes, you focus on the basic footwork. We also go through a little bit of refereeing, because the best way to know what the rules are to referee somebody else fencing. So you know what the rules are. You'll learn a little bit about the penalty chart. You'll learn a little bit about the styles of fencing, the history of it in the first class, the basic footwork, that sort of thing. And then in the intermediate class, you get a little bit more in depth of some different styles that you can do. We go a little bit advanced in some of the techniques.
So it's a great place to learn an Olympic sport and have a lot of fun too with Brandon Minter. Classes are available throughout the year for both teens and adults. Learn more or sign up online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Well, we want to end the show highlighting a program that's only available to Roanoke County resident youth. Now in its third year, the NFL flag program has grown an unbelievable 25% every year in its existence. Let's find out why with Alan Hayes. I'm joined here by Alan Hayes. He's the Youth Athletics Supervisor here for Roanoke County Parks, and we're here to talk about a program now in our third year called NFL Flag Football. Now tell us, what exactly is flag football?
Sure. NFL flag football is an alternative to tackle football. Maybe parents aren't quite ready for the children to be in the tackle football sport at the age 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have this opportunity. It's a great program. It's very fast-paced, utilizes the same skills and drills that they would do in tackle football, yet in a non-competitive or as competitive environment as tackle football as well, without the contact.
Now the program not only has been growing tremendously every year, so high demand for it, we've also added some age groups this year.
We're now going all the way to age 12. So children program is open from children ages 6 to 12. As long as they're a Roanoke County resident or attend Roanoke County Public School, we would love to have them come out and sign up.
Well, what should a child expect and a parent expect, maybe that wants to get involved in the program?
Sure. Typically, during game season, we're going to practice and play a game 2 to 3 times a week. One of those outings will typically take place on a Saturday, realizing the time commitments that children have with other activities. Games practices last typically about 90 minutes. We'll start the first part of August with our practice season. We do a really fun jamboree at Bogle Stadium at the end of August, and then we'll start playing games after Labor Day, and sometimes sometime we try to conclude about the middle of October as kids get ready to transition into our winter sports.
Now, you and I both talked to a lot of parents that are just kind of faced with that decision. Do I go with the tackle program? Do I go with the flag? And I know it's an individual decision, but what are some of the factors that a parent can use to decide?
Well, I think parents have to realize the maturity of their child and how well they are going to learn the safety aspects as relates to tackle football, as well as the time commitment that tackle football takes. Our tackle football program is typically 4 days a week.
Right.
A lot of the activities are anywhere from 90 to 120 minutes. So it's a little more time consuming, it's a little more involved. It does start August the 1st as well, but it typically will go until the first part of November.
And what about folks wanting to get involved? Is there still room for coaches this year?
We're always looking for coaches, always looking for good volunteers. We're not asking everyone to be a head coach, but every head coach loves to have a few assistants to come out and help them. Team moms are always the most valuable person on a coaching staff. She's kind of the wrangler of the program and the ones that keeps everybody in line.
So you can talk to Alan if you want to be involved. It's not as much commitment as you might think, and it's a lot of fun for the kids. That's what it's all about. Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's show. We've shown you plenty of ways to get out there and move, splash, learn, and explore. Of course, we invite you out here to Splash Valley Water Park, open through Labor Day weekend, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Admission is only $5 to $9, depending on age and residency. If you want to know more, check out splashvalleywaterpark.com. Also, while you're online, you can download our app or sign up for weather alerts to make sure you get out here and don't get rained on. But no matter how you choose to spend your day, we hope you do it in a Roanoke County park. So get out there this summer and enjoy the parks, and check us out online at RoanokeCountyParks.com. Until next time, I'm Scott. We'll see you in the parks.